Welcome back to Coach's Corner, joined by Rainy River head volleyball coach Mel Millerburn. And Coach, the postseason is upon us, and by the time people hear this interview, you'll have the semifinals out of the way. But let's head back to last week before we talk about that. You had a chance to go down to Brainerd and take on Central Lakes, a chance to win the Northern Division, but you end up losing in 3 sets. Talk about that match a little bit.
Well, first we've got to back up one more week,
Okay.
and we had the Anoka Ramsey tournament. And we had a good tournament. We played well, and in the very last match, the very last set, Sandy and Tiana both went for a ball and collided, and Tiana ended up breaking her hand. So that's been just kind of, we've had to make some quick switches. So when we played at Brainerd that Friday night, that was the first time then that Tiana wasn't in the lineup. So my two subs, stepped up and went in there. And, I always say, wait for your chance will come. And now their chance has come. And we had to make some adjustments. And I don't know, we all struggled Friday night. But then we rebounded, and Saturday played at Northland and ended up beating them in 3, and that was a huge win for us, especially with those new girls in there.
Well, I was going to say, obviously you beat Central Lakes. You'd be playing at home this weekend for the Region 13B tournament, but as it is, you're in Brainerd and have to play down there. So does that give you, maybe with that week of playing with the 2 new girls and now another week of practice, do you feel like your team maybe has gotten used to playing with each other and knows what to expect? Because communication on the volleyball floor is vital.
Yeah, no, it's been good. We've we had a really good match against Northland, and we've had a good week of practice. I should say Tuesday was really good. Yesterday was okay, but now I've got a few kids that are sick and aren't feeling the greatest, so we're going to take it easy today, which is Thursday. But yeah, I mean, and in practice they've always gotten in there and stuff, but now it's a little bit tougher being in the game. But they did fine. I'm playing Monica in the front row and Jordan in the back row, so they need to step up.
2 months ago, we did an interview and as a preview to the season, and now we're 2 months later, and look back and tell me, did you envision this a second place in the Northern Division, an 11-3 record in the conference, 18-10 overall, if I remember right? I'm probably wrong on that one, but did you envision this team coming together like they did, especially in the second half of the season?
I'll be totally honest, no. I'm really surprised at our success too, but they just really, after that Wahpeton tournament when we were over at NDSCS, we played tough schools, and they were all D2 schools, and we were right there with them all. So I think everybody's confidence just really grew. And then, we went on about a 6-game winning streak, I think, something like that. And I just think our confidence just got better and better every match. So our forte is hitting, and I think I found that this year our competition, their defense is not as tough as last year. So Maddie's a really good example. She's just really come on strong, and teams can't stop her.
And so, you send out the awards this past week with Maddie and AJ Ori being named first team Northern Division. You were coach of the year, and Sandy Thompson was second team. I think I've got that right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
It's obviously a team that goes 11-3. That's a testament to those kids and yourself. But what obviously it's a 6-person, it's a 6-pronged thing out there on the floor. Obviously you got to have somebody who can set the ball, you got to have somebody who can hit it, but you got to have those other role players, and maybe talk about some of those other girls besides the ones that I just mentioned that really maybe have had to step up and fill those roles, because maybe they're not getting the accolades that these other girls are.
Yeah, and everybody should get awards on our team because they've all stepped up. Cassandra Moffett has done a really nice job. I've expected a lot out of her this season, and she's really performed well, having to play all the way around. Last year she only played front row. So this year, she passes, plays left back, serves. She's done really well. And probably the biggest surprise is Elissa Wilform. She has played, she's getting better and better every game in middle back. Front row too, she's done a nice job. She's just gotten some kills for us when we need them, but I've been most impressed probably with her defense. She plays line and has dug up a lot of balls. And she's our number one server. And she has got a really nice serve, but missing serves drives me crazy, as they all know. So I've really put a lot of pressure on her, I guess. And last weekend she served 28 for 28, and she's got a tough serve to receive. So I was just so proud of her that she's been able to control it and keep the serve in. So that's going to be key for us, this weekend.
Itasca on Friday night. By the time everybody hears this, that match will be in the books. But when we had you and Maddie and Cassandra, I believe, on in early October, the girls said the number one match they were looking for was was Itasca. You guys took care of business, beat Itasca in the middle of October. Now you get a chance to play in the third time keys to the match on Friday night.
Yeah, no, it'll be fun to play Itasca again. We match up to them pretty well. They have two really good middles. That's their strength, is both their middles are very, very good. So we're going to have to play defense against them, try to get some big blocks on them. That kind of, they get a little bit nervous when they get blocked a few times. But again, to switch it around, I don't feel their defense is quite as strong as it has been in the past. So they really suck up in the back row. So if we can make sure that we hit deep and if you have to push or tip, if you can tip deep, that's going to be a key also.
Let's talk about the results of the tournament. Win, lose, draw, all weekend, whatever happens. Is this weekend icing on the cake for a great season? Or if you don't come out on top of the weekend, will it seem like maybe you guys left a little on the table?
Well, day one, which was August 15th, I believe it was, when I go through all the procedures and the rules and all that kind of stuff, goals. I always say our number one goal has to be to make the region tournament, to be in the top 4. If you can accomplish that in the North Division, we've done a great job. And, we did that. And I said to the girls the other day, anybody still playing volleyball in November has had a really good season. I don't care if you're high school, college, whatever. To still be practicing and playing in November is great. Looking at the matchup, though, we should be in the championship game. If we can go out there and play the way I know we can, we should beat Itasca Friday night. And I hope when you're listening to this, I hope we're in the championship.
And at 8 o'clock on Friday night against Itasca, as early as it could be, the 5:45 match, I think, and then noon on Saturday are the times of the matches. And so if you come out of the Region 13B tournament, then it's to nationals, and that's in Rochester?
Yep, it's in Rochester, and we would leave Wednesday. Thursday is a practice day, and then it starts Friday.
Well, Coach, I congratulate you on the great season. I wish you the best of luck this weekend. Hopefully Saturday morning we've been talking about a win on Friday night and hopefully a Region 13B championship. Thanks so much.
Thank you. I hope we are too.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner, joined by a majority of the girls swimming and diving team, and we'll start off with our good friend Claire Herzig. Claire, last week the last home meet of your swimming career against Mesabi East. Talk about how the meet went for you personally.
Well, personally, the meet went good for me. I did really well.
Which event was the best?
I don't know. I did good in all of them.
Okay.
Well, I didn't get like my best times or anything, but I
got good places.
Yeah.
So what was it? What was like to have the last home meet? Was it emotional, or was it something where that it didn't seem to bother you? It was just something that was there and you had to do it.
Well, it didn't really feel like my last home meet, so it didn't hit me like everyone else, I guess.
Fair enough. How about you, Emily? We'll talk about the Mesabi East a little bit, the meet, and as far as it being the last home meet.
I thought it was exciting. We had a really good turnout, so it was nice to have like the community there to cheer you on, and it just, I don't know, it was a fun night.
Was it more special because it was against Mesabi East and Parents' Night, or did it not matter that who the opponent was?
I think it was definitely more. It was better with Mesabi East because we knew it was going to be a fight for it, so it wasn't just an easy team that we would go in and say, oh, we've got this in the bag. We actually had to work and prove that we were the better team.
Coach, you told me last week that you threw everything that you had at them. You know, you've had a little bit better than a week to analyze it, or about a week to analyze it. Would you have done things differently?
I don't think so. I think we put everybody in the best places we could. We knew going in Mesabi East had more depth than we did. So like I said before, we threw everything at them and we came up short. Last relay we had to go 1-2, and we didn't do that. So they are the section champions in that last relay, as they are in the first relay, but we did beat them there.
Is it something that what the girls swam at against Mesabi East is what they're going to be swimming next week at sections, or are things going to change?
I think pretty much. Everybody knows what their role is going to be and where they are. There's been no secret of who's swimming what at sections. We did try a few things. Anna Early, for example, has just come recently to the 100. I've been wanting to put her there all year. She went under a minute at the Virginia Quad and then actually beat two very, very strong 100 freestylers here in our pool on Parents' Night to get one of our 3 individual first places. So it was a great performance, and she'll definitely be in that at sections.
Anna, why the wait? Why haven't you swam this event earlier in the year? Is this a discussion between you and Coach, or something else?
Well, I wasn't really planning on being a 100 freestyler. It just kind of happened. So
why didn't you plan to be isn't the freestyle the best stroke, the easiest stroke to swim? So doesn't everybody want to do the 100 free?
I wouldn't say the easiest stroke, but
Well, which stroke is the easiest then?
there's no easy stroke.
Okay, fair enough. I can buy that answer. What makes you a good 100 free swimmer? What do you do well that you think makes you successful at it?
Apparently I have really long arms and
Okay.
long legs and long reach, according to Jill.
So what are your expectations going into next week with the 100 free, or any of your other events? What thing gives you the best chance to be towards the top of the podium?
I really hope to drop a lot of time, and taper's been going pretty well, and we're wearing tights and extra suits, and that tends to help you drop time a little bit. So
Josie Bates, what events are we going to be competing in next week in the section meet?
Focusing mostly on diving. That's pretty much it for me.
Is that so? All of a sudden, most meets are 6 dives. Now you got to go to 11 dives at the section meet. So how does that, besides being more to do, how does that complicate things?
Early morning.
Early
or that
morning.
Saturday, and having to do 8 dives in the morning and then wait until the middle of a meet to do our last 3 in front of a crowd, which is something I'm not really used to.
Alyssa, you're shaking your head the same thing. Alyssa Mathis, you agree that's maybe the most difficult part, not maybe adding 5 more dives to what you do normally. It's the separation and everything else.
It's definitely like the more pressure on the last 3 dives, because you're in front of a very large crowd, so you want those to be your best 3.
So do you put harder dives, easier dives for those last 3? What's kind of the policy going forward? What do you do for those last 3 days, because they're already pressure enough, but you also need the points? So what do you do for those last 3 dives?
Usually our easier dives would be at the end, but every once in a while Christy will throw in like a harder dive to get it over with at the end so we can work up to it.
So the early morning, what time are we diving on? Do you know, Coach?
We start, I think, at 10:30.
10:30. Well, that's not so early.
But we have to get up and leave here at 5:30. So
That does make it difficult. I understand that. What's your best dive, Alyssa?
I'd have to say it's probably my back dive, definitely.
Why? What is it? Just something that it seems to come natural? What makes it so simple?
Yeah, it's just kind of a natural reflex for me. I do better with my approaches, like all of my back approaches, and anything that's going backward, I do mostly a lot better with those.
Josie, how about you? Best dive?
My reverse dive, I actually reach on that one and bring it closer to the board than on my any other dives.
Okay. Emma Meisner, expectations going into next Thursday and Saturday. What are we thinking?
Well, I'm definitely hoping to drop some time. I think all of us on the medley are really hoping to not get third this year.
Maybe if we talk about it a little bit, maybe it'll go away. You know what I mean? Maybe if we don't ignore that it's happened, maybe if we talk about it, maybe that third place won't happen. No? Maybe? Maybe. Is that the big event in your mind? I mean, is the medley relay the big event for you going in? Obviously, that's a team one with some of the other seniors. Is that the big race of the day, or is there a bigger race in your mind in the individual parts?
Well,
It's okay to be selfish at this point. I'll let you be. Don't let coach tell you that team thing is a bit.
Well, the medley is definitely my biggest focus, like relay-wise. I'm in all 3 relays, and I think that's the relay that I want to focus on the most. But I really want to drop time in my fly. I really want to improve on that.
What's the time we're looking for? Give me a number. Give me a number so that when I'm there next Saturday, I can say she did it or she didn't do it. What's the number? 1:00 what? Realistic. No, don't give me a crazy number like 12 seconds or something.
Well, yeah, I don't think I could do 12 seconds. I don't know. My best is a 1:05, so I don't know. I want to at least get a 1:03.
Okay. Caroline Stone, how about you? What are you looking forward to most next weekend at the section meet?
I don't know, kind of all of it. The medley relay is probably going to be the main event I'm in.
I'm going to ask this question. Let's say things go great for the medley relay, because that's the first race of the day. Does that set the tone for the rest of the individual races, the rest of the day? I don't even have to finish the question. They already know where.
And well, prelim-wise, we just have to make the top 8. We want an inside lane. So at prelims for the relays, it's just making, we say the top 6. Individually, they've got to make the top 8 or the top 16. So prelims becomes a real focus on, like for example, Emma swimming that time to get into that top 8 to get a chance. So you can only go to state if you're in the top 8. So the medley relay come finals day, of course, last year we got third by a 1/10 of a second, and it was devastating, and it took us a while to get back together to focus on the rest of the meet, because we were close, we knew we were close, we knew we had competition. And this year, actually, in the medley, there are 6 teams that are 2 minutes or better.
Okay.
There are 2 teams that have done 1:59s, us being one of them, but as we learned last year, Mesabi East swam 2 minutes here. That's the same 4 that swam 1:55 last year. So we're not, we know Mesabi East is kind of playing a little bit, so we are prepared that they will go a 1:55, and for us to go to state, we need to be a 55.
Sure.
So we know that. So so that will set the tone. But if 2 teams swim a 1:54 and we swim a 1:55, how do we be upset if we've got our best time? And then moving forward, we'll
go from there.
Yes, you never know. We can only really compete with ourselves. So yes, we want to be top 2 and go to state, but it's hard because you can't predict what that other guy's going to do or girl is going to do.
Caroline, we kind of got away from you a little bit. What have, you told me you were looking forward to the medley. How about an individual event that you're looking forward to?
Probably the 200 IM the most, but the backstroke could also be interesting because we've been working a lot on my stroke and on my turns, so I think there's potentially a lot of time for me to drop there.
Well, ladies, I wish you guys all the best of the luck next week. We'll be down there keeping an eye on you, and hopefully it's all positives, and we got a lot of people going to the University of Minnesota the following week for the state meet.
Thank you.
Thank you.